This game's not won on social media. This game's not won on telephones. This game is won with shoulder pads, helmets, mouth guards, and sweat. That's how the game is won.
Welcome to episode 1 of the Bill Neese's Coaches Show for the 2024 season. Obviously with our main guest here, Coach Bill Neese. Coach, feels good coming off a win, first home win for the opener, 24-13 over Stebbins in what was a great game on both sides, offense and defense. We'll talk a little bit about how that go, but just as from a coach's perspective, when the team, how's it feel to get that win?
That was big. We started off the year with 2 excellent football teams. Both the teams we started off with are now currently undefeated. Both playoff teams from last year. High power, good traditional, powerful teams. And we fortunately did not win either one of the games, but I think that put us in a position where we can continue to get better. And we did not get down on ourselves. Didn't lose confidence, came back, and this week I thought we put it all together. We're able to put the ball in the end zone. We limited our turnovers. What if we hadn't had that one turnover, we would have been perfect for the night. Thought our defense played well, defense ran the football. That was the #1 passing team in the league, the #1 passer, and 2 of the top receivers in the league. And I thought we did a great job of sacking him 5 times and also holding them out of the end zone in terms of not giving any big plays.
Coach, just rewind a little bit. Those teams you're talking about, Lyman Senior and Butler, both teams who are going to be probably have an opportunity to make good runs in the playoffs in their respective regions. Teams that certainly, for us, we had chances. We lose, but we talked about that. We talked about after the game. We had moments where the ball goes here or there, bounces a different way, turnovers maybe make a difference, but their guys found a way to take that, learn from it, move on.
Yeah.
And you go into again a team against Stebbins who's had beaten us last year. They had the quarterback whose back was a sophomore. They had great weapons.
Yeah, they came roaring out of the blocks, and they're scoring 55 points last week and 35 points the week before. So they're not hurting for any ball production, movement type stuff. So I thought we came out and, like I said, I thought we did a nice job of our defensive line getting after some people. I thought our back end, really flew the football. I had a couple of people tell me that's the fastest that they think we've been in a couple years in the perimeter part of the game. So that was fortunate, and I thought our offensive line did a very good job. Anytime you have a running back that's gonna rush for 200 yards, that running back's doing a great job. But I think that offensive line and the H-backs and tight ends are too.
Well, it's easy to talk about the skill guys, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but you did touch on the offensive and defensive lines. If you look at the production that those guys gave us, and a lot of times they're not the ones that get the glory for what they do, but they were making some holes for Jericho, and they were giving their defensive line a hard time on line.
I think so too, and I think last year there was a couple times where there was things we could probably take advantage of. We thought we could take advantage of, but we weren't really quick enough to do it. And I think this year Jericho can do it. He's quicker. He's got a good skate step on him. He's got a good cutback, and his ball security has been amazing this year. So we're really pleased at the progress he's made from this year from last year.
Well, and speaking of which, we also had a touchdown. He rushes for 2 touchdowns, and we get a touchdown pass from Caden to Rashawn Garrett. Caden had a game going 8 for 10, and just kept it solid and kept the ball in zones where he felt comfortable at, and of course, him and Rashawn seem to have had a connection here the last few weeks together.
Yeah, they have, and hopefully we'll get that with all of our receivers. Everybody's got a little bit of a chance to get going. But I thought Caden did just an excellent job of being able to do what he does that's, he gets out. If he gets in trouble, he's not going to throw himself out of trouble. He's going to run himself out of trouble. And I thought he did that well. I thought he, was very accurate with his throwing, and made really good decisions for us. So we could not be happier after week 3. I know last year after week 3, we had to make some changes in our program in 2 or 3 different spots actually. This year after week 3 of the program, we're healthy, we're ready to go, and we're looking forward to game 4.
Well, we would have to talk about our defense. Defensively, we really felt like, I look at the stats. Coleman with 11 tackles, Essence with 9. You had a lot of guys anywhere between 6 and 5. There's quite a few guys with that, so there's a lot of guys in on defense.
Yeah, and we played a 3-man front most of the time. We were subbing back and forth into a 4-man and a 3-man. But the nice thing about the 3-man front is both our ends and our nose all had quarterback sacks, and our linebackers did a very nice job, as you said, with the tackles. I know the quarterback scrambled, I think, 12 times. We had 12 times we flushed him out. The bad part is that one time that we thought we had him on a 4th down, and he just kept bouncing, and we lost leverage all the way down the line. 3 straight guys lost leverage, and he went in and scored, but you learn from that.
Coach, you talk about turnovers. We got 2 big ones, 2 interceptions. Owen Shaw came up with a key there, interception there, which is a timely senior, and then of course another senior, Joey Boswell, gets another interception. Both of those really give us some momentum.
I think they did. I think they were massive. I know we didn't have a great deal of interceptions last year, but I think this year, we're able to get up high point the ball. I think we're, and it's most of the same guys. We got some new guys, but they're mostly the same guys. And again, they're just a year older, a year wiser, a little bit more athletic than they were last year, and a lot more confident than they were last year.
Indians get the win 24-13, and now we get into another road game. Our first 4 games, we're going 4 on the road, and we head to Tip City. Of course, expect good things from Tip. Talk a little bit about them. I know they're a lot similar as what we see every year, but just kind of remind the Indian Nation what we might see from them on Friday night.
Well, I think they're a team that has a lot of tradition. I think that with Coach Birnbacher and then Coach Birnbacher's dad, both of those guys have been there, and they have similar philosophies on offense and defense, and they're able to, they're a team that does not beat themselves. They don't make mistakes. They force and watch other people make mistakes, and because of that, they have a lot of confidence in what they do. And you really have to go down there and you have to play mistake-free football, and also put pressure on them, in the meantime. So it's obviously going to be a formidable task. They've been in that league race, for the last 3 or 4 years, and deep in the playoffs for the last couple of years. So it'll be a big one for us.
Well, Coach, we've been in there, we've been in some battles, and every time we play at their place, they have always been tight and tough games, and I expect that we're going to go in there and we're going to come ready to go. Yes.
Our guys are ready. Had a great Monday practice, had a great weekend, getting the scouting reports together, everything going. So, coming in healthy, coming in ready to roll.
Coach, our seniors, we talked a little bit about Jericho Burns and Joey Boswell a little bit earlier. Those 2 are going to be our featured seniors. Talk a little about what those 2 guys have meant, not just in the last game, but what they've meant to pick the football.
Well, I'm going to start with Jericho first. Jericho, interesting guy. He was a move-in and started from scratch. He started from the bottom and worked his way up. He was in our walk-on program. That he came up to me one day and said, "Hey, I want to play football." And I said, "Well, here's the steps you got to do. You got to take these steps." I have probably 15 people ask me that every year, and very few people take the steps necessary, to get involved into the program the correct way. And he did. He showed up, worked his way up. Started getting in the weight room, learned to get involved in that, and next thing you know, like the kid's the leading rusher in the Miami Valley League, coming back into this year, and comes off a 150-yard first game of the season. This past week he had almost 200 yards. Hard worker. The neat thing about him is you can see his confidence level growing. He's a lot more comfortable around the locker room, a lot more comfortable talking to everybody, and
leadership.
That kind of shows how on the field and also off the field.
Well, one of the things I've noticed about him in particular the last couple games, even I saw it particularly Lima in a situation, and certainly Friday night. He loves to compete, and he just loves that opportunity to. You do your thing. I'm going to show you I can just do a little bit better.
He did. He proved that again this past spring when he won the lift-a-thon in his weight class, which was not many running backs. I know Josiah Medley did it, but not many running backs have done that. Be able to win that middleweight division, and he was able to do that. So we cannot say enough about him.
If you put Burns and Medley in the same sentence, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good score.
That's a pretty good count.
Yeah.
Pretty good count.
Joey Voskuhl, another guy. We've had Voskuhls in the family. He's been around Pickle football for a long time. Again, a guy that's showed a lot of leadership in the locker room. A guy that people just like, but he's a guy that really works hard on the field and all the things they ask him to do.
Well, he's an interesting product in the fact that 2 years ago, we're watching a JV game, and I know our secondary coach said it, and then one of our other assistants says, they said, man, I'll tell you what, Joey Voskuhl is probably one of the best safeties around, but he's just so darn small. That he's in the right place. He does everything he's supposed to do, but a lot of times he just gets steamrolled. He just gets ran over. And lo and behold, this year Joey Voskuhl's not too small anymore. He grew. The guy's almost 6'1". He's weighing in at 165, 175 pounds. Stronger than heck in the weight room. Unbelievable. Watching him over there in that squat rack, watching him over on the bench press rack, it's just amazing what he does in the weight room. And like we said, he plays a great safety. He always knew how to do it. So now he's got the body to do it to match the brain that he always had to do it. So we're looking for a massive year from him. And then he goes over and flips over on the offense sometimes and gives some of those guys, him and Ray go over and give some of those guys on offense a break and kind of keep those guys on their toes that they better be rolling. And otherwise they'll be playing a little bit more than what they're doing.
Yeah, you look at him, he's the classic guy that has the growth spurt. He's putting all that work in
at the right time,
and it comes, and because he put the work in, it all paid off for him. And we've seen some great things already. And looking forward to seeing what's.
Definitely possible.
Coach, thanks for your insight. I know this week's a big one for us. Again, we'll be back at Tip City Park on Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. kickoff. Again, reminder: this is the Bill Nieces Coaches Show, sponsored by Dick Lumpkins and Roberts Heating and Cooling. When we come back, we're going to be here for part 2. We're going to meet Jericho and Joey, so don't you go away. We'll be right back. Welcome to part 2 of the Bill Nieces Coaches Show. With us right now are our senior portion of the program. They're going to use their name and the position that they play.
I'm Jericho Burns. I play running back.
My name is Joey Voskuhl. I play safety and wide receiver.
Both of you guys had big games on Friday night, coming off a big victory, beating Stebbins at home in the home opener, 24-13. Before we talk about your performance, what's it like playing here at Alexander Stadium for you guys? Jericho, go ahead first.
It's a good environment. It's fun. It's just a nice game at the
What about you, Joey?
It's a really great environment. There's always great fans there. They cheer loud. It's awesome.
So, getting the win had to feel good, particularly the first one of the year, but the league games, league games are always important. What was your takeaways from Friday night's win for you guys?
They're a decent team. Showed us that we can get over the hump, and it showed us we can actually take our next game.
Jericho, you get 2 rushing touchdowns. You rush for just under 200 yards, 29 carries. For you, you're getting a lot of opportunities. That's got to make you feel good that they trust you.
Yeah.
So, for your perspective, what are some of your goals that you have this year?
4 wins last year, like maybe 8.
So you're thinking playoffs?
Playoffs, 1,000 yards, and just
Got it. Joey, big interception for you the other night. Really got things rolling with that. That certainly gave us some momentum. Goals-wise, not maybe individually, but team-wise, what are some of the things you're thinking for the 24 campaign?
I'd like to make it to the playoffs, win out. Individually, I'd like to make all-league team on both offense and defense. That'd be cool. about it.
You guys have a great opportunity going to Canoe on Friday night. We certainly wish you guys all the best there. About 8 months from now, you guys are going to be graduating. That's hard to believe right now because we just started school and it's hard to believe that you're going to be at the end. But just kind of thinking about down the road, what does things look like for you, Jericho? What's the things you're thinking about post high school?
I'm going to college and studying business, like sales or something like that.
Oh, okay, great. Did you want to apply? Fantastic. So you're weighing your options. How about you, Joey?
I want to go to college. It'd be cool to play, but that's not like major. I'd like to go to college for 4 years, come out, and have a good job starting out.
Do you know what you want to do? Have any idea?
Police officer, that's what I've mostly looked into.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, one last thing before we let you go. You guys, pickleball football. I ask this a lot to the guys that have been through the ringer, the time, the effort that we have to put in the offseason. What's pickleball football mean to you?
It means a lot. It's tradition, but it's like when I first came here, the reason I came here, it's always been here.
I think it's a very awesome place to be. It's a year-round program. We're very traditional. It's like a family. It's great. It's fun.
You guys have been a big part of it. We thank you for what you've done. But we got a lot more business to take care of. Good luck to you guys on Friday night.
Thank you.
Speaking of Friday night, we will have more information about that next week. But game on Friday will be at Tippecanoe at the park. 7 o'clock kickoff. You can catch the game on WPTW. And you'll get more information next week as well on the Bill Nieces Coaches Show on the Indian Nation Station, Channel 5 Spectrum, and also on the YouTube channel. For our seniors, Joey and Jericho, I'm your host, Chip Hare. We'll see you next week.